Welcome, class 8. Today's topic is force and pressure, the third chapter. And the topic, particularly, that we are going to learn is the rotational motion. So, if there is an object and a force is applied on that object at a particular direction, then in the same direction, the body will start moving. So this kind of motion where the body moves in a straight line is called a linear or translational motion. And in the second case, if there is a body and now the force is applied in such a way towards its edge, and the line of action of this force is like this, and again on top of it, suppose the body is fixed at a certain point, then at this case, when the force is applied at the edge, the body will start to move in a circular motion. So here this point where the body is fixed is called the pivot, and this kind of motion is called the circular or rotational motion. So here the point which is pivot, let's look at the body from a different point of view. At this point, if the point where the body is pivoted, from that point, if a straight line is passed through and the body will start moving in this way, then here this straight line which passes through the point which is fixed or the pivoted point, then that straight line is called as axis of rotation, just like Earth's axis where the earth rotates at with in that axis. Similarly, a body when it rotates, it has the axis of rotation. So few examples that we can talk about for rotational motion are opening or closing of a door. So at this corner where the hinges are there, which will support the door. So here if the door opens and closes, this becomes the axis of rotation where the hinges are placed for the at this corner of the door, and the doors open and closed means it is now moving in the circular or rotational motion. Next example we can talk about is a spanner. So when we are using the spanner and we are rotating it in order to tighten a nut or loosen it, then the spanner again moves in a circular or rotational motion. Similarly, using a jack screw to lift a heavy load. Over here, this is the jack screw, and a lever is used in order to make this jack screw move round, and so that the load can be lifted up. So here, this is again the example of circular motion. Next, we have number 4, turning a steering wheel. We all know how the steering wheel operates. So when the steering wheel is turned around, the circular motion is taking place out here, and here if we notice properly, a steering wheel is applied by two forces in opposite direction, and these two forces which are in a pair is called as couple, which produces a motion this way. Okay, it's called as couple, and this couple is known as two equal and opposite parallel forces. If you see over here, these are two equal but opposite in direction, and they are parallel to each other. So two equal opposite parallel forces which produces a larger turning effect. So if you are rotating the body by applying a single force, the amount of rotation it will have, and when you apply the two opposite forces, two equal and opposite parallel forces, or let's say when you apply a couple, then the turning effect on that body will be more. So here, as we can see, that the body rotated in this direction like this. So this is a clockwise motion. Similarly, if the steering wheel is applied by, again, the two opposite parallel forces but in another direction, then here we can see the motion takes place like this. So this will be called as anti-clockwise motion.